So there I was, just scrolling mindlessly through Steam, bored out of my mind, searching aimlessly for any game that would make a good video. And that's when I saw it. Cheese Game. And it is good. No, not good. It's gouda. But, before we begin, I have to address the moonsters who aren't even subscribed yet. It's just a simple press of a button, and I promise you won't re-shred it. Anyway, the game pits you against 3 different bosses, all with their own patterns which I would inevitably have to find a way to cheese. First was the miner, a formidable opponent who was all too ready to rock my world. He was fast and didn't mind getting his hands dirty. This was my first real test in this game, and I was all provolone. While only being the first boss of the game, the miner beat me again and again and again. It was degrading, and I was starting to get fed up. I didn't know how I was going to beat this game if I couldn't get past one enemy who I had honestly taken for granted. But before long, I was able to slip past the miner's guard and take him out smooth as butter. Next was the sheriff, a snaky foe who refused to let me catch my breath, and was not a fan of my hysterical jokes. But what he didn't know was that I was a pepper jack of all trades, and this town wasn't big enough for one of Bree. While the sheriff slunk and slithered, I consulted my dairy, trying to find any weakness that I could exploit. And that's when I learned that snakes are actually lactose intolerant.
Wow.
With this knowledge incurred, I quickly gave the sheriff the gruesome demise that he deserved. Lastly was the monarch, an absolute moonster of a king who imposed the most egregious of policies on his subjects. The cheese tax. The monarch proved to be a formidable opponent. His attacks were the absolute cheesiest and most fermented of the bunch. I swissed for even a single second to catch my breath, and it was beginning to dampen my spirits. He was gouda, really gouda, but I was cheddar. I quickly figured out the monarch's patterns, memorizing his attacks until victory was paneer. With my last attack, the monarch finally fell, shred, and the cheese tax was no more. And believe it or not, that was it. I could finally go on with my life. No more cheesy puns about being cheddar than everyone else, no more moonsters under my bed, and by no means were there any more shooting stars to make a Swiss on. Because I was the absolute GOAT. I may have finished the game, but it left a lasting impression on Bree. Okay, seriously, I know you guys can't bear my jokes anymore, but if you watched for this long, consider giving Cheese Game a try. It's not your average game, and I guarantee you won't re-shred it. Thanks for watching. I have no regrets ever in my life. Peace.
Cheese. 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 Butter. Spread it on the bread. Bollocks. Cheese. 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 Cheese.